Welcome in, everybody, whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world. This is Coast to Coast. What's happening, guys?
One win and in. Fly, boys. Let's go.
Nice. We won and we're out.
Yes.
It's funny, though, because they, we got the Kings tonight, and they can play spoiler for the Kings. So even if you don't necessarily have anything to play for for your own team, you can still mess someone else's playoffs up. Obviously, you always get that we're going to play for pride and, all that, which sounds great. You have to say that. But at the same time, probably should have been playing for pride the rest of the year. So, so I always find that comment kind of funny, but you can go wreck someone else's postseason. The Kings are 1 game ahead of Nashville, 1 point ahead of Nashville. So they could mess that up.
Well, I had a friend of mine who was at the last game at home for the Kings.
Okay.
Because an NHL mainstay is possibly because the Kings are on the road for their last 3 games, which is really unheard of. A lot, that's really a lot going on.
Kraken are on the road the last 2.
Yeah, so this is their last home game, but so they went up against the Oilers. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's Anze Kopitar is retiring at the end of this season. Okay. And he had his final regular season home game yesterday. So
which was a win.
Which was a win, or Saturday night. It was 1-0 win, and good for them because they pushed the Oilers back into second place in their division. That division stinks out loud, but it's and they've been playing really well lately. They're 6-1-3 in their last 10, the Kings. So they're trying to have another home game at some point.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that's going to be the case. They have to do well on this final road trip and outlast some of the other teams that they're chasing. But the Flyers last night had the hockey gods smile. The Blue Jackets lost to Boston 3-2, and that loss now makes them the only way that they need the Flyers to not get any points whatsoever, Washington to lose their last game. They got to win their last game, and it's against Washington, so that helps, but they have to win the last game. They need the Flyers to lose the next 2 games.
Well, not only lose, but you can't even go into overtime, right?
Correct. They have to get 0 points.
That's a big ask.
Yeah. Now Washington, there's been a lot of rumors swirling around Ovechkin, and I would bet that even Herb has heard of Ovechkin. I know that they do not have hockey in Alabama, but they do know.
4 minutes in on a Wednesday, and the guy from the town that booed Santa Claus is already taking his shots. Alabama. But I would expect
I waited to 4.5. I wanted to get it closer to 5 minutes than 4. So. But no, I'm not lying. There's not hockey in Alabama.
There's probably junior hockey.
There's no reason to bring it up, though, except to take a shot at,
I'm not taking a shot. I'm not taking shots. I was actually saying that. Even though you do not have working plumbing in all of the places.
You just get the popcorn ready. Where's my toilet? Where's my toilet bowl? Because I'd like to take a dump when you go.
That you would have even heard about.
This is starting out good today.
I had a good weekend, and Philly cannot even ruin it this morning. So
Exactly.
website talking and just drown him out, and I'll come back when he has something interesting to say. So.
But anyways, so Ovechkin may have played his last home game. I think that they're playing in. Yes, they are playing in Columbus. So he may have played his last home game. He's up in the air about coming back next year. I think he does. You know, I think if you're going to retire, you got to let everybody know ahead of time, because you want, like, he's one of those players should take the final tour. You know, I think you know, I'm not a big fan of that across the board. But like, there's certain players who I feel like, even Sidney Crosby, as much as I hate Cindy, I think that he deserves to take that final tour.
You're talking slam dunk Hall of Famers, though. I mean,
yes,
you know,
100%.
You're talking about guys that if they were eligible later today, they'd be in. So, you know, those guys take the tour, I get it.
And I hate Cindy Crosby. I have always hated Cindy Crosby. I've hated him so badly, I would never want him to play on my team. There are certain guys you hate and you want on your team.
Sure.
He's one of those guys I always wanted to hate. And when I say hate, it is actually a big sign of respect. It's not hate in, listen, he's a human being. I don't hate him in a human sense. I hate him as a competitor. And I always want to hate him. I always want to boo him. I always want to be on the opposing team of him. And that's what I mean by that. So it's really, coming from me, it's a big sign of respect. And it's not what the word traditionally means.
Pags just wants to be a hater. That's all it is. Like, it's fine.
Yes, I am a hater of Cindy Crosby. You know, so much so that I call him Cindy, and I don't even call him Sydney. But you have to respect greatness. You know, and that's the difference. You know, I didn't hate Mario Lemieux.
Yeah,
I respected his greatness in tremendous ways. I didn't hate Wayne Gretzky. Even though he beat the Flyers in the Stanley Cup, went to the Rangers, which I couldn't stand, went to the Kings, and I still couldn't stand. You know, like, the Kings were always the Flyers West, because they would always take Flyers players out that way. But guys that I specifically would hate, Claude Lemieux. Now, I know that we're going to go back into the history of some hockey here. What Claude Lemieux would do is win Stanley Cups. That's all he would do, is win Stanley Cups. I think he won 3 in a row with 3 different teams. You know, like, it's like he won it with Jersey, went to Colorado, won one there, and then went back to Jersey and won another one. And he was one of those instigators. Matthew Barnaby. For hockey fans that know hockey, if you want to know a rat, Matthew Barnaby was one of those guys. Those are guys that I hated. I never wanted on my team and always wanted to hate. So
it's a weird segment.
It is.
Yeah. Man,
but these are true things. These are true statements. And I tell you what, each one of these players were really great hockey players. Matthew Barnaby was one of those guys who he was what the hell is his name? I know he used to play for the Bruins, and now he plays for the Panthers. And he just gets under everybody's skin. And he looks like a little rat, in fact. You know who I'm talking about. Anybody who's a hockey fan knows who I'm talking about. His name is.
We're going to read a story about Pags getting beat up by a bunch of hockey players.
They better pack a lunch.
I will not be mad at that story. I'll read it just like that. Oh.
Well played, sir.
Yeah. Well, they call karma, so, you know, I'm around.
Marshawn is his name. Yeah, like I said, he's a little rat. He's the guy who licked people on the ice. Um,
I mean,
Barnaby,
that admittedly is weird.
Barnaby was that times 20.
Okay.
He was just that instigator. They created a penalty for a little while called the instigation penalty, specifically because of Matthew Barnaby. He
Hmm.
was that good at getting under people's skin so badly that you had to beat him up.
I mean, I'm not mad at it. Like if him just walking in the building gets under your skin, like that's not a bad place to be, because that puts people off their game for sure.
Oh, and I will say, he was probably one of the best at it. Claude Lemieux also very, very good at it. Like, you talk about, like, if you go back and you look at some of the weirdest brawls, bench clearing brawls that ever occurred, look at the Flyers versus the Canadians.
Okay.
And before the game, the bench clearing brawls that happened, I mean, it was Ed Hospodar coming out and literally beating the crap out of Claude Lemieux before they even were the national anthems came on. Like, they were doing the skate arounds. At the end of every skate around, Claude Lemieux liked to go down and put a puck in the opposing team's net.
Hmm.
And the Flyers were not dealing with that. So they skated off the ice. Everybody skated off the ice. Claude Lemieux was in the back of the back of that hallway, waited for all the Flyers to come off, came back on, and went to go score a puck in that net. The goalie was watching, and he came back on the ice, and they tried to block it. Next thing you know, Ed Hospodar is beating him up. All the Canadians come out. Dave Brown, who was a big fighter for the Flyers, he comes out. He don't even have his shirt on. He's got like just his skates on, and like some people are coming out in their slides and all. It was mayhem. It was beautiful.
Jay Bake, we are 3 games away from the end of the season. So they are playing right now, and we are just about to head into playoff hockey.
Yeah, and in Southern Florida, in the South, I understand. Like, listen, Dallas is in the playoffs.
Yep.
Dallas is one of the better teams. The Florida Panthers won the last 2 Stanley Cups, are not even in the
Exactly.
playoffs this year. You have the Lightning, which have won a couple of playoffs, won a couple Stanley Cups here recently. So even in the South, except in Alabama.
There it is.
So, anyways, but yes, that's what's happening tonight. Tomorrow morning, I could be celebrating like nobody's business that the Flyers are back in the playoffs, and it's all good, Bake. You know what I mean? Hey, it's all good. I understand not everywhere has hockey.
I mean, they are South.
Well, in the South, I get that. I get that statement. I apologize. I understand that they are southern cities.
I've had enough time to.
All right, so I'm done with the hockey talk. We might as well move to the other sport that just ended, and now we have everything happening. The Sixers are going to be the home team versus the Magic in a play-in game, and we have the Heat going to Charlotte for their play-in game.
Yep.
Portland versus Phoenix. I don't understand why they're doing it this way. Like, it makes no sense to me. That
what part?
So they have 9 versus 10 going before 7 versus 8 in the East, but not the other way around. And I don't get it because if you had both 9th and 10th place going now,
Mm-hmm.
you'd be able to have one day. Well, they're going to travel. You're going to have a game, and then you have the 1 day break, and then you'd be able to play both games. Instead, now they have 2 day break because both 7 and 8s are not playing on the same day. So you got the Sixers playing tomorrow, which is or on Tuesday or on Wednesday rather than Tuesday, which doesn't make any sense to me. Like I feel like that. Why don't you just? And I know this is a matter of showing every game. That's what this is about. This is about money.
Well, it's probably also a little bit about travel because you don't know where that second game is going to be. So give everybody an extra day to pump it up and sell a ticket too. Because you have now, you don't know where the second game is.
Hence why you have the 9 versus 10s, both games of 9 versus 10.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
today.
and then you were like play it a day, but like you said, if you do it the way they staggered it, then you said you get 2 days instead, right? So you get all your travel and all that kind of stuff out of the way.
All right.
I think that's why.
I'm sure that there's ample reason, but there's still only one game that's only going to get a day to do that. One game's going to get 2 days. The other game's only going to get 1 day.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it and I understand and I can appreciate what it is that you're saying. I just feel like that they should have done this where they can get both teams to get 2 days of, hey, let's figure it out. Let's sell some tickets. I mean, this is going to be the last home game for maybe a team.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to have no problem selling the tickets for a play-in game. I mean, if you wanted an extra day, win more games. I don't feel bad for you barely getting in.
Right. And I think that's the other aspect of it. They don't care. They're like, look, if you're the 9 and 10 or 8, whatever, you definitely should. I mean, the 9 and 10, we recently just added you guys, so just be happy that you have a game.
Exactly. Yeah, because otherwise you'd have been out already anyway.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that they originally did that anyways, just to be able to get rid of 4 more teams in the lottery. Now the lottery is only 10 teams rather than 14. Because if you lose in the play-in, you don't go into the lottery, correct?
I thought the lottery.
I'm actually not sure on that.
Yeah.
So I think that's what happens. I mean, where's that guy when you need him? There's a name that hasn't come up recently.
He would have been Googling it anyway.
Because like when you read this, they still have the 9 and 10 teams in the lottery odds up to 14. So your odds are just really, really low. You're barely, I guess they give you like half a ping pong ball in there.
Well, I got to imagine that if you are the 10th, the 7th seed, so I mean, because 7th and 8th now could fall into that category too. So they're saying the play-in is not playoffs. So if you are the 7th seed and even had 2 home games and lost both home games, you would then get a ping pong ball.
Yeah, but then the Spurs also get a ping pong ball. Like for everybody that gets a ping pong ball, the Spurs get one too.
True. Spurs aren't even in the in the lottery, and they're going to win it.
Exactly.
Well, that's par for course. I mean, that the NHL have been doing that for the original 6 teams forever.
Yeah.
If you're in the lottery, you get extra ping pong balls because you've been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, you're right. So whatever team ends up in the 9 and 10 seed are in the lottery. So yes, if you go from 7 down to 9 by losing both your games, you're in the lottery.
Okay. Got you. Okay. And so the Sixers could get in the lottery this year. How about that? They will have
to be in the lottery though. Like it's a weird spot that y'all are in.
Well, we're in the 7th seed, and we'd have to lose both home games because we would have 2 home games.
Right.
And last night was our announcer, Matt Cords. He's retiring from announcing the Sixers. In my lifetime, there have only been 2 announcers for the 76ers. Dave Zinkoff, who is one of the most amazing voices to call a basketball game. He was a normal announcer, and they were about to let him go, and they were doing open tryouts for announcing, and he changed the way that he called the game and made and made his voice a little bit nasally and very elongated, and he was one of the original ones to be like, and Julius Irving, and he was the one that kind of changed the way they call basketball games live. He was like one of those guys that just was a pioneer. And now Matt Cord, who is Delaware County's own, he grew up not very far from me, and after 23 years of calling basketball games, he is retiring. So, congratulations to him.
Yes.
There you go.
But in the meantime, he's going to have to call at least a couple of playing games.
Yeah.
I think y'all take the first one though.
Yeah. Who's the MVP? It's funny because most of the people you would think would be the MVP this year aren't eligible.
I mean, your top guy still ended up making. So I think it's SGA, Jokic, and Wemby. Yeah. But Wemby, I think, was hurt the longest. So Wemby, if he had played all the games, I think would have won it.
Well, and Wemby is he's borderline on that minimum game mark. Right. SGA, I think, is the your winner. But
yeah. I mean, I think that was really by far he was the one that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of your other guys that would normally be in that conversation wouldn't have been eligible this year anyway because they all missed significant time.
Yeah, like Luka was making a significant push, especially if the Lakers could have climbed up to like the 2 seed. Sure, you might be talking about Luka, but him getting hurt and then possibly missing the playoffs, which if they don't get out of the first round, that's it.
That's a shame. Wembyana missed it by 1 game.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was like right there.
64 games. You need 65 games to be considered, right?
Yep.
That gives you.
Which is weird because they sat him. Did they sit him out in his last game?
He's injured. He's got rib injury.
Yeah.
No. He played on Friday, so they could have played on Sunday.
He was questionable for Friday, and then he was considered out. Mm-hmm. Will play on Friday. Questionable for Sunday, out for season finale.
Yeah.
So,
you know what? Denver, who sat everybody, but they could have won and proved their seed, and then they still lost. I don't know.
I'd be willing to bet that they decided to do that and hold him out specifically. If he was like almost the guaranteed winner of the MVP, he probably would have played. Because even if he plays 2 minutes, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You get him in. Oh, he's in the game. There you go. He played. There.
Well, no, there is a minutes requirement along with that rule. So I forget what it is. It's like 20 minutes though. It's somewhere around in there.
It's 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes.
So for it to be an official start, you got to play at least that. But that doesn't count for your 6th man of the year.
Got you. But he's saying that he is eligible. There's a 20-minute requirement, but Wemby is eligible. I thought that it was 65 games.
It is. Yeah, so it's
he's only played 64. And that's the reason why I'm questioning Scott here, Scott Cabe, saying that Wemby is eligible. I thought that number was assigned by the NBA as 65. Now it could be 60, at which that means they're missing 22 games, which is still almost a quarter of the season.
Yeah, so they're going to rework that rule this offseason, but as it sits today, it is that 65 games. So if he has 64, then he shouldn't be eligible.
That's what it is. He's at 64 games right now.
Yeah. So I mean, then yeah, they held him out. Now he wasn't going to win anyway, most likely, but
yeah,
being at 64, then he shouldn't be eligible at all anyway.
Yeah, I don't know of anybody else who's got the same type of stats as SGA.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Doncic and SGA,
Yep. Well, and then with Luka getting hurt.
Yeah, but Joker's also in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Joker didn't score anywhere near the amount of points this year.
Yeah, but that's because it's the rebounds and assists. You're going to get the total package. Like, SGA will always outscore him, but Joker's like a walking triple-double. So,
yeah.
And Scott is right. It says 64, but when you actually ask the question, is he eligible, it says yes. So it's like even the internet is confused. So I see where Scott is getting it from.
Yeah.
But there seems to be confusion over the games because when you actually Google that exact question, it says, yes, he's eligible. He played 65 games. But then I've looked at two sites and it's like, yeah, he played 64. So I don't know. Like I said, he's not getting it, but it's weird that this is.
So I wonder, like, did he not start one of the games? Right? Was it like he was 64 games starting, but he came in off the bench in one of those games, injured or something, and get his 20 minutes? Like maybe that's how it was counting it. But I don't know. I mean, if it didn't sound like that was a fungible number before. So
right. No, 64 games played, 55 games started.
Okay.
So it's not even that.
Weird. Yeah, I'll be curious to see what that means.
Yeah. Because it does say, I mean, we're not winning it, but it would matter for like defensive player of the year kind of considerations, I would think.
Sure. Absolutely.
Which you would absolutely be in play for.
Yeah, I mean, because he's gotten 11.5 rebounds a game, and 3.1 blocks per game.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think, a whole block ahead of everybody else.
Well, he's also a whole foot taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, imagine when he gets another 15 pounds on his body.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand that they're being very careful. They do not want him to become like Shaq, where he has all of that weight on his body. And as he gets older, he's going to definitely fill it out more. He's going to start to get more girth, I guess. But they want to be careful because they're trying to protect his knees now.
Yeah, right. You don't want to have the knee and ankle injuries that most of the big men do.
So it's amazing that they haven't come up with technology to really help that for big men.
There we go. Because of the cup game.
Okay.
So he played a 65th game. It just didn't count towards the regular season. That sounds like a weird workaround. That sounds like a weird workaround that the NBA is like, hey, we realize you didn't make it, but we want you to be in there.
Right.
But okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. Thanks for digging that up, Scott.
Yeah. But that's probably the reason.
If he wasn't eligible, he would have played in this last game at least 20 minutes. So
for sure.
They had to have known that going in.
Yeah.
But that is weird. Basically, 2 teams qualify for that.
Yeah.
Is it 2 or 4? Because isn't the semifinal games also so he's played 66 games because you have to play the semifinals and the finals?
No, I think that when we read it last time, the semifinals counted as part of your games played, like your regular season game. It was only the finals that didn't.
How would they work that then?
What do you mean?
Because you don't know who you're going to play in the semifinals, and do you take away one of the games because of that?
I think you do, but I'm not 100% sure. But I think that's like one of the reasons why when the semis are played, it's one of the only time the cup games have other games being played those days.
Gotcha.
And it's so early in the season, I guess, that you can work it around. I wouldn't want to lose a home game later for an NBA Cup game, but I assume that these people know what they're doing.
Oh, sorry, I did that out loud.
Yes, I was trying to keep a straight face when I said it, so I don't know.
Well, and it's still what, $500,000, right, per player, or $1 million per player?
I think it was a half. Yeah,
it's a nice payday, especially considering your whole team gets it, and you might have like 1 or 2 max players, and then all the way down to like the guys on the smaller contracts and stuff get it. That's why you see a little bit more competitiveness in the NBA Cup final than, like, let's say, the All-Star game, where everybody's on a max contract and getting less money. So
yeah.
Plus, it's your whole team doing it.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And yeah, that is interesting there, Brian, is that it counts for your eligibility, but not towards any of your stats. The stats end of it makes sense, right? Because you're not playing it in a regular season game. I get that.
Right.
But then, like, if some of it doesn't count, shouldn't all of it not count? Like, I don't know.
It is a weird one. It is a weird one. He just ran around the court for 20 minutes and didn't record a single stat and sat down and said, I got my game played.
I mean...
Yeah. And Jokic wasn't terrible. He had 27.7 points a game. SGA was at 31. But like I said, you're getting way more rebounds and assists out of him too. So
yeah,
it's not as like, I think SGA is winning, but I don't think it's as because the SGA is averaging 4 rebounds and 6 assists a game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I that's the only person I could really see that falls into that category.
Yeah, but like SGA is averaging a triple-double. I mean, sorry, Jokic is averaging a triple-double for the season. 27 points, 12.9 rebounds, 10.7 assists. So
they were planning on him missing time late in the year, even back then. 20 minutes and 13 seconds. Okay, you're out.
Yeah. So lead the league in rebounds and assists. Yeah. See, I don't think it's just as, like, I think, and you look at the odds, it's gonna be SGA, but I don't think Jokic was just not doing anything this season.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I don't think they'll give it to Jokic again.
None of these numbers are jumping off the page anyway. Like, this isn't an MVP race where you're like, oh, this guy's just lighting it up. Like, this is the well, I mean, you had a good year and everyone else got hurt, so it's kind of like when Dak was in the conversation for MVP. You're like, yeah, well, that's because Burrow is hurt, Allen was hurt, Lamar was hurt, and you're like, okay, yeah, I mean, that if we're just picking somebody that somehow stayed alive, sure.
I don't know, man. Averaging a triple-double is what got Russell Westbrook his MVP.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, he averaged it for the entire year, that's insane. Like that is a crazy stat.
Yeah. Well, that's what Jokic's averages are.
Yeah. No, I know.
So,
yeah.
Well,
but see, those
it just depends on what you matter.
Those types of things get you the MVP the first time it happens. And then yeah, they kind of, right? So then you're just like it, and you shouldn't, because it's still an impressive feat. But as soon as it's been done once, it doesn't get graded quite as high as it did before. They're like, oh, we've never seen this before. And then now they're like, well, we saw it last season.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like you're getting voted against yourself. Like, it's kind of what we expected. These are your baseline stats at this point. So
exactly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be. I mean, obviously, I think the three guys or the 4 guys that are really on this. There's Doncic, SGA, Wembanyama, and Jokic. I can't figure out. Like, it's too close to call when you look at their numbers in comparison to each other. Like, you have, all right, Jokic has got the most for rebounds a game and most assists per game. And then you have Doncic has got that, but he's like 3rd in, they're tied for 3rd or 4th in assists and stuff like that. Like, they've got, they're all fairly close. I mean, I think that if you have like another 2.1 assists per game, he gets 10 assists a game. You know what I mean? I think he's that close. So I get 7.9. This is going to be a tough one. You know, I think that did SGA win it last year?
Yeah. Yes.
They like doing guys twice in a row.
Yeah, but not the third.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they give it to SGA again.
Yeah, he's the odds-on favorite right now. So we'll see it.
Yeah, I think he's the most consistent.
Yeah. No, I would say Jokic is the most consistent. Doing it,
but again,
size and position.
Yeah,
you're about to say Jokic does not have enough games played.
Yeah, that's what I'm just about to ask. That question: is he eligible?
I'm right here, Steve. It says 64, which we're finding out is a weird number. So I didn't think he was eligible because he missed like the last 2 weeks.
And not to be outdone, Jokic has got 65.
Mm-hmm.
So
I like that these guys are coming in like right at the exact minimum.
Yes.
And SGA, he has 68.
Yeah. Like Bo was saying, everybody got hurt this year. Guys that never ever missed games for real were getting hurt. Because I don't really remember SGA or Jokic missing time before this, and then all of a sudden it was missing a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
Jokic doesn't really play like a high intensity game. I never thought he was going to get hurt. You know, he always looks like he's just walking around the court, and yet somehow always knows what play to make. So it's crazy.
Brian, you know that MVP has nothing to do with value to the team anymore. Like that is not what it's about. It's about flash. It's about stats. It has nothing to do with the fact that the Spurs were fine without Wemby.
Right.
Has nothing to do with that. The valuable end of it is no longer really a factor in any of these awards.
Right. It's become a little more popularity. I'll say this: if Luka had stayed in there and they got the 2 seed, I do think he would be. I think he would earn the vote. I still think they'd probably go with SGA. I mean, they're number 1 seed and they were on a historic pace at the beginning. But and just I know we already popped it up there, Scott. Yeah, I didn't know Tatum was ahead of Brown because that's weird because Tatum didn't come in until very, very late this season, and Brown has been carrying that team. That was the team that they were like basically thought this season would be thrown away. And then they traded off and sold off a whole bunch of people and still kept winning. And a lot of people think they're the favorite in the East. So Brown had an amazing season. He should get recognized. He won't, like you said, but he should. And yeah, the Rockets are heavy favorite to beat the Lakers because nobody expects Doncic and Reeves to come back, and trying to get 7 games out of, prime LeBron is not going to happen. He might give it to you game 1. In game 2, it's over. There's just not enough going on. Unless you think DeAndre Ayton's going to play well all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, and you may not even get a full game out of LeBron.
It's just
like you'll just get like random quarters through this.
Right. And you almost have to manage him that way at this point. So
yeah
good luck with that.
Well, and I just asked who were the top seeds for the Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And there's Knuckle and Cooper Flag, right? That's it.
And Edgecombe. VJ Edgecombe is also in that. VJ is probably has not done enough to win it. And he doesn't have as big enough name. But Newpel and Flag both are, listed as number 1 and 2, with VJ and Edgecombe coming in as number 3 on that list. And if I am correct, did Dallas make the playoffs?
No.
So all of these teams are in play-in or not in.
Well, you've got the 7 seed, the 9 seed and out, right?
Yeah.
Philly. for the Hornets, remember, they started off terrible. They just went on a huge run at the end to even make the play-in. But Dallas gave up on their season halfway through and started trading away some of their veterans like they should have, to start.
I tell you, there's a huge disparity between the make and the break portion. The 10th seeds have 37 wins and 43 wins.
Yeah.
The 11th seed in the Eastern Conference, it's 43 wins in the Eastern Conference. The 11th seed has got 32 wins.
Yeah. That's the
in the West.
Yeah, that's where they
37 and 26.
See, this right there is my problem with the playing games. You have teams that have 30 wins getting in, and you're like, come on, like you're not even 500. Like, what are we doing? I understand it's for money and you get in a couple extra games. I get all of that, but at the same time, I don't want sub 500 teams getting in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, this year you only have the one, which is interestingly enough, the Golden State Warriors. Mm-hmm. But usually it's the East that has like both a 9 and 10 seed. What up, Hunter? Usually it's the East, and Donna, that has like the 9 and 10 are terrible, and you were like, we could have just started the playoffs with 8 and go on. So
yeah,
it's surprising to see them all above 500.
I like the way that one guy was talking about how to stop the tanking. And the only way to stop the tanking is that the moment that you are out of the playoffs, you start getting points for winning games.
Bam. I like that we're getting the assist. And of course, if you want to bet right here on Coast to Coast, right here, using the QR code on the screen, up to 125% of your first 3 deposits, 10% bet guarantee. You can lose your money right here on Coast to Coast.
That's why you love your the regulars are like, yeah, we know what's coming. We know.
Yeah. No, I was gonna do it after the odds were placed by J Bake there, and then I was like, we'll keep rolling. But we give you what the viewers want.
Exactly. You ask for it, we give it to you. Whether you want it or not.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man.
So how did the Mariners do this weekend?
So weirdly, they've rattled off 3 wins against Houston here at home. And they haven't been pretty games. Like they've definitely been exciting. But the thing that's funny is all it did was absolutely tank Houston. It barely moved the Mariners. They only moved in front of Houston. The Oakland A's lead the division. Now, again, small sample size, but funny because I figured they would be the cellar dweller we're used to seeing them as. But yeah, the A's lead the way off of the Mariners getting the last 3 off Houston.
Well, let's talk about the American League in general.
7 in a row, 2 now, so that's crazy. Yes, sir. What do we got?
Yeah.
The top team in the American League right now are tied the Cleveland Indians and the Minnesota Twins at 9 and 7. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams a half a game back at 8 and 7. There's one team that's got 8 and 8. 1, 2, 3 teams at 7 and 9, including the Mariners, and like 6 and 9 and 6 and 10 are the lowest. You want to talk about disparity?
Yeah.
9 and 7 and 6 and 10. That's your high. That's your low. That's very close in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. No, there's a ton of parity there.
Yeah. Well, consider that your 6 and 10 team lost 7 in a row just to get to this point. So it's or one of your 6 and 10. The other one's the White Sox, which I guess is shocking that they're at.
I mean, the National League isn't any different.
Yeah,
it's 10 and 6 to 6 and 10. I mean, it's just not a
11-4, 11-4 to 6-10. Correct. So it's
11-4, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
parody across the entire thing. It's just, I'm not sure I enjoy this. I don't know if I like it.
You don't like parody?
Some separation later.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is still very early.
I understand that, but what you get these sample sizes, usually in in 15 game samples, 5 series. Every 5 series, you see the change happen, and there's not a lot of change here, in this. So,
this means we won't see Frankie.
Wow.
But I mean, the Phillies right now are frustrating, very, very, very frustrating. They gotta hit the ball. Yesterday they lost the game. Three gaffes on the base paths, like monstrous gaffes. Like, first off, I like Bryce Harper. I like the fact that he tried to energize his team by trying to leg out a double, which was absolutely just a single. He got thrown out by 4 feet. The ball's sitting there waiting for him. And as fast as he ran to second base was as fast as he ran off the field, because he got booed. Because there was no reason for him to go to second base. And he didn't even look to where the ball was. He was out of the box going for 2.
Ah, gotcha. And your second baseman sitting there like.
Exactly. He's like, like literally, he's like, come on. It's when he's, what's his face? He slid a little too early there. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And then now I understand you got first and third, no outs. You do not, you want to score the run, I think. You don't want to get caught in the double play. Yeah. And he gets caught in a rundown going home. And it's, all right, it's the first out. You don't want to make the first out at home. I get it. You kind of want to maybe hesitate the guy who's going to throw the ball so that you don't get the double play. I know that if it's hit to the right side, you're supposed to run right away, and that's where it was. And, baseball purists will tell me that he made the right play. I will go as far as to say he didn't make the right play. You know what I mean? Because there is no outs. A double play doesn't put you. You got to make him commit to the double play before you run. Because there's no outs. If there's 1 out, you got to go right away. 2 outs, definitely. But if there's 1 out, you got to go right away because you want to get the guy to think about throwing home.
Yeah.
And then you stop the double play from happening. 0 outs, you don't care. If there's a double play, the run still scores. And and then Brad Marsh on a pop-up, like that was a mile-high pop-up, goes and he's going on the pitch, and he runs, and he gets to second base, and the ball is still up. Like, it has just now got down in his glove. It's like, oh my Lord. Now he had to touch second base, which took a half a second, because when you touch second, and people didn't understand this yesterday, the moment you touch the base, you have to retouch the base. Just so that's a thing. You can't just start to run back. So it's almost like you have to run back in the order. So the moment you touch second base, he should have never even touched second base. He should have been 3/4 of the way with the moment that he knew that it was a pop-up. But of course, that was too late. Mm-hmm. And he gets doubled up. And we lose 4-3. Brandon, you're right. Brad Marsh. Brad Marsh is a hockey player. Thank you, Brandon Marsh.
Yeah. No, he's Brad now. Like, that's how well he's playing baseball. Like that. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's again, I mean, this is such a small sample size at this point. Like there's a lot of mistakes that happen early in the year, especially this year, because so many of these guys were off in the World Baseball Classic. Like there's a lot of errors that you don't normally see happening right now.
Yeah.
And I think some of that is just, yeah. Well, and I think these guys just, because they weren't playing together in spring ball, right? Like some of these tendencies that you get used to in spring ball, they just haven't quite got, because there's been some of these throws that, you know, trying to get people out at first where they're not quite digging them out the same as if you'd have been playing together all spring. So I imagine these things will get tightened up. Again, we're only 16 games in, so not really a big deal yet. Right. Now, if this trend continues, then you got to kind of worry about it a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
But you know, once we get into, you know, the mid-20s of games and you're still seeing a lot of these errors and stuff, that's where you're like, okay, this could be a problem. But when you're within the first 20 games, you tend to see a lot of questionable play.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm just a Mariners fan. I'm just used to us being terrible.
Right.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think that that's more what you're thinking. I feel like that you win games in April so that you don't have to win games in September. That's how this is supposed to go. So you're supposed to come out as best as you can, because the more that you take away
we do part of that. We lose games in April so we don't have to win games in September.
Wow, this man has been through it. Like he is battle hardened. Like
in fact, let's just do this. From hope to nope. Bam, in the chat. Let's go.
Oh my god.
I tell you, that's a shame. That's a shame that you feel that way about your team.
No,
I feel like you're beating up the Mariners more than I beat up Alabama.
No, this is I need to listen to smooth.
Nobody can beat up anybody more than you beat up Alabama.
No, it's this is me just being funny at the moment, because I mean, again, it is way too early to have any kind of feelings either way, right? Like if you came out and you put up a goose egg 16 games in, you're freaking out, right? But for us to be where we are, and although I say it as it's a terrible thing because we're, you know, second to last in the division, we're a game and a half out. Like this isn't like, oh, we're 10 games back and we're 16 games in. We're a game and a half, right? Like this is not a big deal. So
I tell you, it's interesting though. I mean, you normally see a couple of guys that are batting 400 this early, I guess, and you see Pages right now batting 429. I mean, that's phenomenal, even at this point in the season. In the American League, you got Simpson batting 411, which is like I said, that's probably about good. He's got 23 hits, and Pages has got 24 hits. They came out, you know, on fire, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Scott, this is what we're talking about. Like there's a lot of parity to start this season out. I mean, you're talking about from the worst team to the best team, it's 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not really not that big of a deal. Again, it's very early. I mean, we haven't seen anybody play their best ball yet. We haven't seen anybody play their worst ball yet either. That certainly is coming here in about 2 months when some random team decides to just not participate anymore. Rattle off like 10 or 12 losses in a row. Seems like we have one of those every year. So usually it's like
an accidental ABS challenge this weekend too. Since I know we're about to get out of here.
Yeah, so there is one we're going to talk about tomorrow, which was the double challenge. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was
pretty crazy. See that.
I'm going to bring the video for it tomorrow. So
that was actually great. And what I do like about it is that they got the call right.
They did get it right. They did get it right.
You know, and that was just heads up all the way across.
Yep. Well, it was right to be challenged twice, like by both teams. Like both challenges were actually good.
Right.
So,
like, oh, you're doing that? Nope, that's not what happened. Oh, you're doing that? Nope, that's not what happened. And
exactly.
You know, it's interesting because I got to imagine that did they have to look at it again? You know, to be like, oh,
So
no,
they did.
We saw that.
Yeah, no, they
did just because it was supposed to. You got to look at it, but realistically, it's like, oh, I'm just looking for this. Now I'm looking for this, but I saw it the first time.
Yeah. And Joe, you can't say that because then my hope to note makes sense because that it's the couple weeks after the All-Star break that the M's aren't that good. But as a Houston fan, that makes a lot of sense because that's usually where they turn it on.
Right. But the All-Star game this year is a little bit late.
Yeah.
So just a little
we got
late.
the Philly guy getting called out.
Donna, you weren't from Alabama. You don't get the joke. That's the funny part.
Actually, there is no funny parts.
Look at Donna. Look at Donna. I know that she messages you guys off air. I know it's all about that. It's
or maybe it's just that they're not funny. And that's just fine.
And I was actually really light on Alabama today. I didn't even really bag on Alabama. All I said was earlier in the show that there was no hockey in Alabama, which is true.
You don't bag on them but you do it every single day. Maybe that's what she's saying. I don't know. Just a thought.
And you can bet on when it hits right here on
4 minutes into the show. So yeah, maybe it is.
That being said, we do got to get out of here. We appreciate everybody coming to play today. Have a happy Monday. We'll see y'all tomorrow.